All right, guys, so we're starting the camping trip today. This is going to be a little bit of an adventure. I've kind of been wanting to get back out into the woods. That was why we got the Gladiator in the first place. I haven't really been able to camp very much because of my job and working situation, and I kind of made some changes to that last year so we could start doing more of this. I was really looking forward to this weekend, and then it got really cold. So it's March, but second week of March actually, and it's really cold. In fact, it snowed last night, so that's going to make things a little bit interesting. And currently the temperature is 35 degrees, and I think it's supposed to get down into the 20s tonight. So we're going to get to test how good of a sleeping bag I've got. We're going to get to see if our tent works well, and kind of learn a few things about what we don't have on the truck and what we need to add, and just there's a whole lot of things that I think we'll be able to learn from this trip. So looking forward to it. I want to take you guys along and show you kind of what I'm doing, and I hope you enjoy the rest of the video. We'll see you in a minute. Well, we're headed out of town now. Got the Come and Go coffee. As my buddy Gabe says, Come and Go makes the best coffee. They grind the beans fresh for you and make a great cup of joe. So got that out of town. It's still about 35 degrees outside, and a hot cup of coffee really hits the spot today. So we're leaving town, driving out to where we're gonna go camp, and I'll check in when we get there. We came out here not too long ago, and this was all just forest, but now they've, I guess, moved their operation for harvesting some of this timber down here. So there's a whole bunch of trees and deadfall, and this road's kind of a mess, but I think it's still passable. They've clearly been out here working very recently because all their equipment's right here. And, it looks like it's just this one little spot, and I guess they've thinned some of this out over to the right, but can't really tell for sure. It looks like they've thinned it out some, but that was kind of interesting. So we're almost to the campsite now. It's just down the road. We got to cross a little bridge and we'll be there. All right, guys, so we're gonna camp tonight. We need a fire because it's gonna get pretty cold. So as luck would have it, we were fortuitous and found this here where they've kind of harvested some of the timber right along the side of the road, and it's just a bunch of deadfall now. There's just limbs and some saplings and stuff kind of on the ground. It's been here for a minute. Last time I was out here, they still had their equipment here, so that's been I don't know, 3 or 4 months, maybe 3 months. So not enough to really fully rot. It's just good and dried out, even though it's got some snow on it. I think it'll burn okay. And we got, you know, pretty good bed load here. I think it'll last the night. So it's just what I picked up on the side of the road. And I think that'll serve us tonight just fine. So we're gonna go ahead and get headed to the campsite now. We're almost there. We really don't have far to go. And then we'll get the camp set up and be able to build our fire and settle in for the evening. So see you guys in a minute. So we made it to the campsite, and we've got camp set up. Camp's pretty simple. I'll show you that real quick, and then we're gonna go through some things that we didn't bring with us that we're gonna have to get for next time, because it would make our lives a little bit better. But that's kind of what the point of this trip was for. So I'm gonna show you the camp now. This is the camp. This is the Jeep. It's unloaded. It was full of stuff. These are our camp boxes. That's my 2 Plano camp boxes, and that's the lifetime cooler that we're telling you about. It's first time we've used it. Nice little cooler. Kind of like it. I think it's going to be an okay cooler. I got a little table and chair. We've got a fire going. We've got our tent set up. It's an old Marmot Limelight 3. I've had it for a long time. Haven't got to use it as much as I'd like, but I've had it for a really long time. It's a good little tent. It's a 2-person, 3-person tent. Works pretty well and keeps you dry. We got our firewood over here and our chainsaw, an electric chainsaw, because I think that's easier actually than carrying gas and oil and everything else. You know, you can just carry that thing. I charge up a couple of batteries and bring them with me, and for what I need to do, it works great. Don't really have to worry about, like I said, transporting fuel or anything else that's going to slosh around. So we are in the woods here. We're on a lake in the Ouachitas, which is just super scenic. We'll walk down here and kind of look at that real quick. It's just super peaceful out here, super nice, very quiet. There's not really been any traffic into this. It's a dead end into this lake, basically. You got to kind of know it's here or have a good map. Strongly recommend Gaia GPS, so it makes navigating the Ozarks a lot easier. So this is the lake. Really nice lake, pretty, very calm. There were some ducks on it earlier. Maybe there'll be a little bit more wildlife as the sun kind of starts to set a little bit more, but overall, campsite's super nice. So I think we're gonna let this fire burn down, and then we're probably gonna kind of hit the hay. There's not much to do out here. The sky's beautiful, but it is a little cold. So I guess I'll see you guys in the morning.
Well, we survived the night. It was a little cold. The sleeping bag worked well. These Nemo sleeping bags are the bomb. They are super warm. I think there's a good layer of frost on the tent. So I think we're gonna get up and try to get a little fire going and make some coffee.
Sunday morning, and I'm breaking down camp and getting ready to go home. I wanted to give you all 5 things that I did well on this trip and 5 things that I did not do well and that I need to fix. So thing number 1, Jeep. Jeep works well. Glad I got the Jeep, good purchase. I like the way I've got it set up. There's still a few things left to do on it, but it's in pretty good shape to be able to go do this kind of stuff. Thing 2, I like the ice chest I got. I got that Lifetime cooler. It's a 55 quart from Walmart. It was really affordable, just a little over $100. I think on Amazon you can actually get them for right at $100. I'll post a link in the description. Very good cooler, very happy with it. It seems to work pretty well. We're gonna test it some more this week and see how long it retains ice. I like my Plano boxes that I got. They work well. They keep things from rattling around in the Jeep. I can just load them up and throw them in there, and they're easy to tie down and secure. I really like that. I like my tent that I've got. It works well. It's an older Marmot Limelight 3 that I actually bought to go camping a long time ago, and then just because of work and life didn't get to, but it worked very well last night. It kept me dry. It's got a nice layer of frost on it this morning. It's more of a 3-season tent, so it doesn't hold heat as well as I would like, but overall works very well. Have no complaints about the tent. The 4th thing, bringing a chainsaw along turned out to be a fantastic idea. I've got a DeWalt electric chainsaw. I think that's a lot better than a gas chainsaw for this kind of work because I don't have to carry fuel and extra things. I can just basically throw a couple of batteries in the Jeep and go, and it's going to be enough to cut down, or cut up rather, deadfall and things like that to make it more manageable. So those are the 5 things that I think I did really well on this trip. Now for 5 things that I didn't do so well. First thing, I need to get a splitting maul or an axe to load in the Jeep. I couldn't split my wood last night. I had to burn it in whole logs, which made it not burn very well. It was kind of hard to get a fire going and keep it going. Also, I think for the tent, I'm gonna have to get some kind of better mattress arrangement. I slept basically on a ground mat, and I'm not getting any younger. I think when I used to do this way back a long time ago, when I did it in the Army, I slept on a ground mat all the time and it didn't bother me, but I didn't really sleep great last night, to be honest. I wasn't cold, I just couldn't get comfortable, so I got to get a ground mat. I also need to get some fire tinder to carry with me, or some better fire starter. That was kind of problematic. I thought I'd just be able to find some twigs and stuff, and while I could, they were all wet, and so it was really hard to get a fire started. I think I could get a lighter weight chair. The chair I've got is fine for camping. It's comfortable, but it is kind of heavy and bulky, and space is always an issue. And the fifth thing I need is a stove, because I would have liked to have made coffee this morning, but because of my fire situation, I wasn't really able to get a good fire going to get hot enough to really boil water effectively, and I don't want to stay out here long enough to be able to do that, so I'm not going to get coffee today. So I've really got to get a stove and cookware to go with it so that I can cook and make coffee, because I really like coffee in the morning. So that's it. 5 things that I think I did well on this trip, and 5 things that I need to improve, or equipment that I need to get. I'm gonna kind of close out now. We're gonna go ahead and break camp, and we're going to head to the house. So I'm Landon. This is Order the Traveling Hats, and I hope to see you out there.